Alright, this is a lesson about slope and rate of change. And you see right here it says slope can be used to describe a rate of change. And that rate of change is important. The rate of change is going to tell us how a quantity is changing over time. So you might have things, for instance, such as the amount of money a waitress earns is dollars per hour. Okay, so the quantity would be the dollars, the time, or would be the hours. In science, you see a lot of this when you're talking about the meters per second. Right? Okay, and of course, meters is your quantity, seconds is your time. Okay, we use this all the time. Anytime you get into a vehicle, you're talking about the miles per hour. So number of miles you travel is your quantity, per hour is your time. Okay. So let's take a look at a few examples and see if we can't figure out some of this. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to find the rate of change for each of the following situations. All right. And in this first situation, what we're given is we're given the amount of snow fallen after 2 hours is 0.4 inches and 1.8 inches after 5 hours. Okay, so when we look at this, we're going to look at it in terms of the change in quantity over the change in time. Okay. Alright, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take my two quantity values and I'm going to come up with the change in quantity. So I'm going to take a look and we got 0.4 inches and we have 1.8 inches. Okay. Now I'm going to take those two numbers and I'm going to go ahead and put them on top to subtract. So this would be 1.8 minus 0.4 over. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing with my time. When I do my time, I need to make sure that I am paying attention to what number I put first. Okay, so we'll take a look at that in just a second. We've got 5 hours over 2 hours. All right. And since we put the 1.8 first, that means I need to have 5 first. Okay, so then we're going to have 5 minus the 2. All right. And again, this is slope because slope is a rate of change. Now all we're going to do from here is just simplify. So 1.8 minus 0.4 gives us 1.4 over 3. And if we divide 1.4 by 3, that is going to give us, that would give us 7 over 15. So this is 7 over 15. So a couple of different ways we can look at that, and I'm going to rewrite that. 7 over 15. We can look at it a couple different ways. 7 over 15 could mean 7/15ths of an inch per hour. Or another way somebody might want to look at that is it would be 7 inches for every 15 hours. So if it were to snow at that same rate for 15 hours, then it would snow a total of 7 inches. Okay. The next problem that we're going to take a look at is this problem here where we have the height of a person jumping out of an airplane is 2,400 meters after 3 seconds and 1,400 meters after 8 seconds. And we're going to use the same thing. So I'm just going to clone that part over here. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller so we're not using all of our room. Alright, so it's the change in quantity over the change in time. So again, I'm going to go through and highlight the important parts. The change in quantity, we're looking for 2,400 meters and 1,400 meters. And then for the change in time, we're looking at 8 seconds and 3 seconds. So if I take that and I go ahead and substitute those values in, I'm going to have 2,400. And again, this is our slope, so this is going to be because slope and rate of change are the same thing. 2400 minus 1400. And then remember, we started with the 2400 or the 2400, so therefore in that same exact spot we need to make sure that we put the 3 seconds. Okay, and so we're going to have 3 minus 8. So when we go ahead and simplify, this is going to be 1000 divided by -5. And if we divide those two numbers, we should get -200 meters per second. Okay, and again, we should have also put a label on the other side too. So this is going to be inches per hour. So we would say inches per hour. Okay, anytime we're talking about a rate of change, make sure that we include our units with that. Okay, and there's a quick lesson on rate of change.